It's been quite the week for social media. We've obviously got Lily Tino and Jack Doherty absolutely storming the headlines recently, starting with Lily Tino at the start of this week being exposed for being investigated for basically taking photos inside of a woman's bathroom, and she's being investigated by the Florida police because she was at Disney World when this happened, and the details are pretty stark to say the very least. One of the biggest issues that's come out of TikTok recently is that of Lily Tino. Now, Lily Tino is advocate for transgender rights and, you know, basically presenting transgender equality across TikTok and educating people, which on the surface seems like a very noble thing to do. But the way that they go about it is far from noble, and it is arguably one of the most controversial things to come from the platform in 2025. Now, you may remember Lily Tino for such videos as the Pop-Tart and the Popsicles to try and basically explain and demonstrate gender reassignment surgery in the middle of a children's area or a cafe at Disney, which notoriously is a children's theme park. Now, that's kind of what blew them to popularity, alright? Now, off the back of that, there's been so many more controversies, like getting misgendered at different hotels and at different cafes, and then refusing to pay for things and just refusing to, like, eat anything because it completely puts them off and all the rest of it. Well, they're back in the limelight once again and now facing a federal investigation after they went to Disney once again in Florida and used the women's bathrooms. All right, but not after getting, accidentally assigned as the wrong person and then, just making a whole stink about it. This is that video of them getting misgendered at Disney.
Fancy looking. Cool.
The bottom is from Thailand?
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry, my bad. And the middle one is from India. It's the papadom with the ginger chutney.
Okay.
And the third is from Brazil. It's a cheese bread with the guava sauce.
Thank you. It just totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately leave because I no longer feel safe here. It's oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah. Exactly, right? If you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay. I would love to pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too, so...
You don't have, are you sure?
You're good, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Now, I can understand how someone might get upset at something like this, right? And it can, maybe give a negative connotation, or it might, spoil their time. But, people can make mistakes. All right, and this waiter is waiting probably not just their table, but is probably waiting a bunch of other tables as well. And, they probably take a quick glance, sir, madam, whatever. Ultimately, it's one of those things, and they can make a mistake, all right? And to Lily Tino, she's turning around here and being oh, no, they made a mistake, they apologise, and, but it still hurts my feelings. Yeah, but what the only thing the person can do after that is apologise for what's happened. It may just be as innocent as a mistake, and you're blowing it so far out of proportion. And now that guy's got to take a drink out of his own check because they've accidentally misgendered you, and it's made you shitty, which makes them feel really shitty. I don't know. It just feels a little bit unfair. Now I feel I'm someone who is so pro transgender equality and all the rest of it. You are who you are, but this is toxic, and this is a really toxic mindset. And to me, this puts a negative connotation on the transgender community, because it's if this was your first experience of a transgender person, your instant reaction's gonna be, oh, that's what all transgender people are stuck up, entitled, and basically like this, which is not very fair. But the biggest controversy from this whole thing, from going to Florida, is the fact that they went and used women's toilets. Now, obviously, this is a huge kind of conversation to be had, whether transitioning males to females should be using female toilets and vice versa. That's obviously not a conversation I'm going to get into, but that's what sparked this video. All right, now this video was the initial video that sparked everything.
It into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. I know Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I get stopped, I guess, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue.
3 minutes later.
That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall. I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. I think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up, and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me, and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10. Women's bathroom experience for trans women, would recommend.
Now, you can see where the problems have arisen, right? They're using different connotations to talk about them using the bathroom. Obviously, standing up, going for a pee is typically a masculine thing to do. Like, not many women that I'm aware of stand up and pee. Now, is that necessarily a problem? No. But it's ammunition for the people that are already against that kind of thing, if that makes sense. But as if it wasn't bad enough, the next video that Lily uploaded was, again, almost a remake of creating the gender reassignment video a year on. Because nothing screams virality like controversy. And either Lily is absolutely playing the game and knows exactly what she's doing to try and just make as much controversy as possible, to go as viral as possible, to get paid as much money as possible, or she's really fucking stupid. There is no in between. It is just literally one or the other. This is said video.
Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog. I do hair removal every week for 2 hours straight. It is not fun or easy, but once that is finally done, hopefully by the end of the year, they are going to take my corn dog. These ears do not want to stay on. They are going to cut it down the middle. This is not the best knife for this. They will then take off the outer lining of the corn dog. Okay, I'm actually impressed that I'm doing this good of a job. Like so. Flip it inside out and make something of a tunnel. This tunnel will then become, well, you know, my hands are disgusting. Now you might be asking why I would do this, or why anyone would do this. It sounds not fun, and I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to that recovery process. But know that this is not a decision that any of us take lightly. Our corn dogs do serve a purpose, but at the end of the day, I just don't like having it. It's not me. I look at it in the mirror and it's like, ugh, can we do something about that? And it turns out we can. But until then, I am making the most of my final days with my corn dog. Farewell to this thing that has served me not very well, but is what I was born with. It did its duty. R.I.P. I'm good.
Right. Obviously, we can see where the problems lie here. In Disney, once again, a child's area, right? Yeah, we got Disney adults, but we're not talking about the Disney adults. And the fact that they start the video with this line right here,
I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one,
tells you all that you need to know. I think Disney is going to ban me for this one. Almost makes you wonder if Lily is very well aware that this is a very close to the bone topic to be talking about in a children's theme park. Case closed? Anyone? Anyone else case closed? Obviously, that was how they started the video as well the last time, right? I think Disney's going to ban me for this one. And then that was kind of, you know, what really kicked it off to virality. And then, as if it wasn't bad enough, they then go on and really hammer home this whole idea of the transgender in the bathroom kind of thing. Because they did a ranking women's bathroom at Disney World and literally went through, right, and ranked every single bathroom out of 10 as a transgender person. based off of their own experience. We can see where the controversy lies. Now, obviously, that video also didn't get taken lying down, as the internet basically did what the internet does best, and Lily Tino responded to those allegations.
Real upset, huh? Saying, oh, those Disney bathroom selfies got y'all real upset, huh? Saying, oh, Lily, you can't take selfies in the bathroom. It's not appropriate. Well, let me remind you that literally every celebrity you've ever enjoyed on screen has at one point taken a bathroom selfie. For example, and it's not just celebrities. Any woman you ever meet has likely taken a photo in a public bathroom. Why, you ask? Because we look cute and we want to document it. So what is different about me that I'm not allowed to take bathroom selfies? The easy answer here is, oh, Lily, you're a trans woman, so you get held to a different standard. And that is true. But people judge trans women differently depending on how well they pass. If you pass, that means you don't look trans. I know that I don't pass. Trust me, I know. But passing privilege is a real thing. There are some trans women out there who, no matter how hard they try, will never be able to pass. Do those trans women deserve to be treated differently? No. They should be able to take bathroom selfies too.
So, yeah, obviously you can see why the internet has quickly done it. And she then made another video, a follow-up video, talking about the allegations once again. Now, the comment section are just copy and paste of the exact same thing, right? You can see here, like, talking about who the male counterpart to Lily Tino is. But this is her allegation video addressing it.
Do not have a child, nor have I ever been married. I am not stalking my imaginary ex-wife or anyone. There is a fake report that presumably came from some AI. The viral screenshot includes a citation of some California law. But fun fact, I didn't live in California in 2016. The first time I ever stepped foot in California was in 2018, and I didn't move here till 2020. I will also add that I have been stalked. It was very weird and gross, but I have never stalked anyone. There's also talk of me getting sued for my bathroom pictures at Disney. As far as I know, I am not getting sued, and I don't expect to, because I didn't do anything wrong. Then there's the petition. Yes, 500,000 people, or whatever number it is now, have signed a petition to get me off of TikTok. But that doesn't mean it's gonna do anything. If word of this petition ends up on someone at TikTok's desk, what they'll do is say, did Lily violate our terms of service? The answer is no, so they will not ban me. There's a rumor that I was fired from a job for being creepy to a woman. The only time I have ever exited a job when it wasn't my choice was right before I became a content creator, and that was a part of a round of layoffs. I didn't do anything wrong, and I wasn't the only one let go. It was a money thing. There's something about weird dolls in my basement. Y'all, I live in a studio apartment. I do not have a basement. I got 625 square feet, okay? I ain't got room for creepy dolls. This is a bad one, y'all. There's a video that goes around of me from about a year and a half ago when I was streaming and talking to people in my Discord. During that stream, we were making dirty jokes about vegetables. The person I was talking to in the clip was named Shelby. Shelby was playing along, and at one point, Shelby said that her mom was listening, and I pretended to be embarrassed, and I brought the mom into the joke, and it was really funny. To be clear, Shelby is a 25-year-old woman, or was at the time of the video. She had a full-time job at a major American airline. She had a partner that she lived with, and her mom lived with her and her partner. Shelby was a grown adult, but that didn't stop people from taking that clip out of context, saying, oh, Shelby's a kid, because you can't see Shelby and you can't see the mom, and you don't have the context of who they are. Let's talk about the flight attendant. This flight attendant claims that I was rude to the cabin crew on my way back from Orlando. First and foremost, I have never seen this person in my entire life. Second, I was flying back from Disney World. I was exhausted, and for the majority of the flight, I slept. I was not misgendered by anyone. In fact, one of the cabin crew on that flight was very kind to offer me a free little snack box because they recognized me, and I was very appreciative of it. People have started realizing that if they make up a story about me, they can get a lot of views, and that's not fair to you, the viewer, or to me. There were also rumors that I've been arrested. That is not true. There's also rumors that I am on a registered offender list. That's simply not true. And you can Google that. You can search my old name, Nick, or you can search my new name, Lily. My name is legally Lily, by the way. That's another rumor. The last thing I want to talk about is the rumor that I'm not actually trans, that I've been pretending to take hormones or pretending to get FFS. There are some trans people out there that call me he and call me by my old name. And they say that I'm hurting the cause. Like, really? Really? If you don't believe that I didn't get FFS, look at the video I posted a few months ago. It's undeniable. And as for me doing this just for money, let me tell you something. If I was doing this just for money, I would have stopped a long time ago. I could definitely be making more money in a different industry, but I'm not, because I like doing this. I care about it. I think it's important. There is one rumor that is true, though. I've been dancing around it for a long time. I didn't want y'all to know. I am, in fact, a total babe. Thank you in advance for respecting my privacy.
So that's them trying to kind of, skirt around a lot of the controversies and allegations that are being brought to the fro, right? And yeah, obviously one of the biggest allegations is that she's being investigated by, by the basically a federal attorney general office in Florida for filming inside a woman's bathroom. Now, we've seen the evidence and the footage. I've shown you the videos. And the controversy began with a viral TikTok post on June 2nd titled Ranking Every... so it was the one with all the photos and stuff, right? Which included mirror selfies showing other women and children in the background without their consent that sparked widespread backlash over privacy concerns, leading to criminal investigation under Florida's Criminal Code of Section 810.145, which prohibits unauthorized recording in private spaces. If convicted, Tino could actually face 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $5,000 US. So that's kind of the whole idea of this lawsuit that's going around. Apparently, they claim that they weren't getting sued, and they even went as far as to make a jovial video about the situation to kind of like poke a bit of fun at it.
I'm suing Lily Tino for emotional distress. Last week, I was in Disney World in the women's bathroom with my child. And when I walked into the bathroom, there was Lily Tino taking pictures in the bathroom mirror. And she turned to me and said, "Hey, let me get your face in this picture." And I said, "No, thank you." But then she took the picture anyway of me and my kid, and I felt this really weird feeling. And I looked down at my kid, and my kid got turned into a corn dog. Lily Tino turned my kid into a corn dog. And then she looked at me and said, "Oh, that'll be great for a video. Can I use your corn dog kid to explain bottom surgery?" And I was about to say no, but then J.K. Rowling walks in and says, "I'm here to defend real women." But of course, Lily Tino pulls out her wand and starts using transgender magic. But J.K. Rowling was ready and pulled out her wand, and they did the thing where the spells go like... But J.K. Rowling was really smart and used a misgendering spell on Lily, and Lily got banished to the Shadow Realm. Then J.K. Rowling turned to me and said, "Don't worry, if you get banished from the Shadow Realm, you are also banned from Disney. So you don't have to worry about Lily Tino anymore. But you should probably still sue her for emotional distress." And then she turned my kid from a corn dog back into a kid, and we high-fived and took a bathroom selfie to celebrate.
Now, the top comment on this video, it's almost ratioed the video in its entirety. Let me hold your hand while I say this. You are not the victim. And she's referencing there J.K. Rowling quite a lot, because J.K. Rowling retweeted one of their tweets recently, and basically, claimed that they were one of the problems of, gender reassignment and, issues with quote unquote real women, right? And yeah. And then they go on to make a video recently. The most latest video that Lily Tino's made is basically a video where they compare themselves to Britney Spears. Yes, that Britney Spears, what is there to say other than just Britney Spears, right? And it's quite comical. Take a listen to this.
2007, if you went to a grocery store or a salon or anywhere that sold magazines, there was one singular face on every single front page, and that face was Britney Spears. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. Britney Spears, if you asked anyone, what's going on with Britney Spears? They would say something to the effect of, "She's gone crazy. She's crazy. She's insane. She shaved her head. Oh my gosh. She's off the deep end." Anyone you'd ask. Because we saw certain pictures and read certain articles that painted Britney to be just crazy, insane. Now, in 2007, we had no idea about her conservatorship, about the abusive people she had around her, nor did we know any of the things that she was forced to do because of her conservatorship. We had a one-dimensional view of this human, and we crucified her for years. For a few years, Britney, the word Britney, was shorthand for crazy. She pulled a Britney, right? But now, in 2025, we look back on those days, and I think most people might feel a little shameful about it. Like, oof, God, we were a little off base there. Now, sure, Britney, even today, is a little quirky, but we understand why, right? Right? We know what happened between her and Justin Timberlake. We know how he set her up to take a fall. Conversations shift. Perspectives shift. If enough people say something, it's easy, because our brains are not as evolved as we'd like to think they are. It's easy to believe if you hear it enough and with enough volume that something is true. Even if it's something as like insidious as this person is bad. It's a human thing, but those things can change and we can change. We can change our perspective on the past. I hope that some people, as time goes on, realize that I am not a villain that I'm being painted out to be. I would love if that happened. But regardless, if it happens or doesn't happen, I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to keep streaming, keep making videos, keep hanging out with y'all, because I believe in what I do. And a lot of people do. A lot of people believe in what I do.
Long story short there, they've compared themselves to Britney, and basically, like, because one person or a handful of people are shouting, Lily Tino is a bad person, and here's the evidence why, everyone's like, that Lily Tino's so problematic, there's such a problem, almost as if everyone's a sheep. And no one's able to kind of make their own conclusions of these things. People watch my videos sometimes and disagree with what I say. And that's fine. That's how the world works, right? I have my thoughts. You have your thoughts. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And this is the thing about an opinion. Opinions aren't always, like, fact, right? And no one's opinion is wrong because that's what they perceive something to be. So an opinion isn't actually wrong. Facts, if you throw facts at someone and you get it wrong, then that's wrong, right? But the thing is Lily Tino is basically victim blaming herself, or, like, making herself the victim here and being like, in like 20 years time, everyone's going to look back on this moment and be like, oh, do you remember that Lily Tino? Yeah, Lily Tino was like, yeah, she might have been onto something. I don't think people are going to look back in like 20 years time and be like, do you know what? Do you remember when Lily Tino did the corn dog and the Pop-Tart video in Disney and said, oh, I'm going to get banned from Disney for this, and then went on to proceed to talk about how gender reassignment works when there were kids running around in the background? Yeah, fun times. I'll see you in 20 years' time to see if that prediction, Nostradamus right here, is right. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Obviously, right now, it's just up in the air about, like, that. She's definitely being investigated because it's been reported by multiple outlets. Getting sued, I don't know 100% like if that's a fact, but it seems like everything is pointing in that direction. We've then got Bonnie Blue, who obviously, you know, has been dominating headlines for the OF and crazy stunts that she's been doing recently, but she may have finally met her match when she was interviewed by HS TikToky, a TikToker, YouTuber, streamer who is on the run himself from the United Kingdom, and basically pressed her incredibly hard to the point that she actually stormed out of the interview. I don't know what's going on in the world right now, but I think I've just watched a video where I actually walk away, agree with HS TikToky, which, in case you don't know, is a very problematic TikToker and YouTuber and social media influencer, I guess, who is currently on the run, and he's wanted in the UK police. And he's just absolutely grilled Bonnie Blue on stream to the point where she left, basically stormed out of the interview or the podcast or whatever, and apparently started breaking down and crying because she just couldn't handle it, which is absolutely insane. Now, we've got some of the key highlights here. You can find the full thing over on YouTube, on HS TikToker's YouTube. I'm not going to watch the full thing because it's incredibly long, but I'm going to give you some of the highlights. Now, just straight off the bat, he kind of set the tone quite, you know, insanely with this little nugget right here.
Guys, you alright? Oh, we're doing elbows. Elbows, I just don't know what, you know, I've got to keep myself Protected at all times on this stream.
Oh, really? Because I see you hanging around with bigger than me.
Oh,
But
that's a huge statement right there.
Really?
I don't think they could be bigger than you.
No,
Do you know
they're
what
not,
I mean?
but they're just more dirty.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean?
Explain what you mean by that.
They pretend they're not.
Quickly, wait a second.
Right, so that kind of sets the tone for what is about to follow, and as you can imagine, it doesn't really get too much, well, it doesn't really get too much, like, better than that. It gets, well, just watch these clips, guys, just watch them.
Damaging. You want to sleep with kids because the 18-year-old kids are your target demographic to sub to your page. No, they're your target.
Barely breathing as well.
They're your target.
Okay, well,
You'll take the barely breathing.
Yeah. Have you been to one of my events? No.
What, so you will take the barely breathing.
Yeah, they just like the wife's probably dead. So
To be fair,
are we now going to say, oh, an 18-year?
No. To be fair, I think an 8-year-old and he wants to tap. Like, I don't see that. If he wants to do it, do your thing, mate.
Exactly, it's the same at 18.
18 is totally different.
But the thing is, like, no, I did not do this before. But I also had never tried taking an 18-year-old's virginity, so I didn't know I liked it. I did it. I was like, fuck, this really turns me on. I enjoy it, and I'll make it a regular, like today.
And you don't think that that's going to damage his life? You don't think that is
He's
completely
just
damaging?
had the best sex of his life. He's just been able to learn about a woman's body. He's been able to learn what he enjoys in a safe environment.
What are you doing this for? What is all of this for? Apart from the money,
Fun,
then, what is it for?
lifestyle, money.
It's just the money.
It's not. I've just
and you've
listed,
sold your whole.
No, I've just listed
you've sold your whole personality for the money.
You're trying to say, oh my god, yeah, I tripped her up. Oh, she just does this for money.
You have.
She just does this for clip. I'm telling you, I enjoy it, but you're ignoring it.
You don't enjoy it because you never slept with 1,000 guys before you did
and you see
it.
how many times I touched that lube. Never, because I am wet and I enjoy it. But instead, you're just going to sit there and go, nah, mate, that's
You're wet
disgusting.
thinking of the dollar signs, and you are absolutely ruining society with your actions.
Really?
And it's actually sad. And I know you're going to look back and regret it.
This is what everyone
There are
says.
other things you could have done. You could have been.
You'd be much more educated and.
If you actually enjoy this, if you actually enjoy doing this, then you have a screw loose.
Why? But this is what I mean. Like, I sit here and
Do you not care about your dignity as a female? You don't care.
Well, like,
because if you're smart, you understand how men should act and how women should act.
Yeah.
You understand. Why do you not want to be taken care of? Not reliant, not like, oh, you're like bossed
I am
around.
taken care of. I have nice people around me.
No,
I've
you're
got
not taken
friends, I've
care
got
of.
family.
You're the richest person who you're around. You are the
family still take care
breadwinner.
of me. They
If
look
you were
after
going
me.
out with a guy, you're making more dough than them.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? It's fine.
So you don't agree in traditional values.
It doesn't need to be traditional, no. Like,
Do you not want to be taken care of? You'd rather be completely degrade
as
yourself.
long as the guy's got a good work ethic, whatever that might be, I'm not bothered. Like, I don't believe I need to be taken care of. If in the future I want to be taken care of,
But you're not going to be. You're not going to be. The only
you
guy
don't know that though.
the
You're
only
just sat
guy
there
that would.
going, oh my god, you're never gonna.
No, but the only guy that would date you is an absolute loser. General
You don't
G
know
wouldn't
that,
even
though.
date you. General
Really,
G
'cause
wouldn't
he seems
even
to be
date
begging
you.
to come on this trip.
Let me
Bonnie's
call
gonna be my
him
dream
right
collab.
now. Let me call him
Bonnie
right
this,
now.
Bonnie that. I actually said, is that repulsive? If he comes on your stream, I'm leaving. And that's the truth, and you know it is. But you're going to talk shit now and say, oh, he's not going to touch me. It's fine.
I don't think
Should
he
we get the
would.
messages up?
I don't think he would.
Like that, didn't-
So you can see already that, you know, there's the conflict is really starting to kick in, and Bonnie Blue's starting to get on the defensive a little bit with this stuff, and she's trying to, you know, play him at the game, and she's like trying to catch him out and be like, oh, you're just trying to get it so that it could be a gotcha moment. And, you know, HS Tiki is bringing... I mean, the traditional stuff, I'm not necessarily sure if that really works in that sense, if that makes sense. I don't think that, you know, the traditional idea is... I don't think the traditional stuff has necessarily got a place in the conversation. But, you know, there is a point in the interview where Bonnie Blue pretty much just breaks this character. Now, we know that Bonnie Blue is a character, right? You know, we've got the Tia Ballinger, which is her actual name, and you've got the Bonnie Blue, which is like the stage name, right? And she does a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of things that she says is kind of behind the guise and mask of this character. But we've never really seen her break character. Even when she's got grilled in the past, she's just this stoic kind of, you know, no fucks given character. But that kind of changes in this clip here.
Loser. General G wouldn't let her slot me off. The way you're talking now, behaving, Bruv, if I was pissed and it was like, maybe a little slops, maybe, okay? I'll be honest, maybe there'd be a chance of slops. But what I would honestly say is what you're actually putting out there is probably not even who you are. You're doing it just for clips to be the most bait girl in the world to make the money you're making, which is, I respect the money you're making.
Like the way I would.
You wouldn't sleep with 1,000 guys if you weren't filming it. You wouldn't do it. So that's not who you are.
No,
I would go and chat to girls. I wouldn't go and walk up and down the strip for 3 hours talking to girls if it wasn't for that. But I would still talk to girls when I see them. So what I do is who I am. What you do isn't who you are. And I can tell, because you're pretty. You would have got a nice guy. You would have lived a good life anyway. But now you've gone down a dark path, and your whole legacy in the future is just going to be you being a whole and doing things that you don't even like. So when you grow up,
you're just assuming that I don't
10 years time, 15 years.
If there's one thing I don't like pausing the clips halfway through, but it's just it's on my mind. If there's one thing that I don't like, it's like this almost like slut shaming kind of argument where you like calling names is like once you start calling someone a name, you've lost. I'm not saying HS Tiki Toki and Bonnie Blue are in a competition to win or lose or whatever, but I just feel like the second that you start labeling her a name, it's just like bang, she's got that ammunition, she's just like, yeah, that's exactly what I am. It's like, you just give her ammunition, to kind of like you've lost it. Whereas if you just kind of like, I think if you were to like talk to her on like, because everyone just grills her, I think if someone was to just talk to her on a human like level where it was like not shaming, not horrible, not like nasty, I think you would probably get a lot more out of her. You'd probably be able to break down that Bonnie Blue character and get to the actual person that she is, which is what HS Tiki Tok is clearly trying to do with this comment, but he's gone about it the wrong way, in my opinion.
Time when you're sat on 100 mil and you're sat there, you're going to look back and think, fuck, I could have been in the same house, the same boat, the same car, had a nice family with nice children.
To get that, mate.
No. What was your job before this shit?
25k, yeah. You think that would brought me the boat?
I know girls in Dubai making 10, 12, 15k a month doing recruitment.
You
so
don't sit on
that's a
100
skill
mil
issue.
doing that.
That's a skill issue.
No.
Let her slot me off.
So I don't know. I think that argument's one of the weaker ones towards the end there from HS Tiki Toki, because she's got a point. Yes, you can get more money in recruitment. Isn't necessarily a skill issue. Not necessarily. Maybe it's an opportunity issue. But then he obviously goes on to say that apparently General G wouldn't even touch her. We heard that in a previous clip, but this is like a continuation of said clip.
He wouldn't even date you. General G wouldn't even date you.
Begging to come on this trip.
Let me call him right now.
Bonnie this, Bonnie that. I actually said he's that repulsive. If he comes on your stream, I'm leaving. And that's the truth, and you know it is. But you're going to talk shit now and say, oh, he's not going to touch me. It's fine.
I don't think he would.
Get the messages up?
I don't think he would.
Like that didn't happen.
Well,
he's bullshitting.
You wouldn't go near General G.
Well, so you invited General G.
But you'd go near an 18-year-old.
Yeah. One doesn't shower and goes up to 16-year-olds, an 18-year-old. But
you slept with 1,000 random people. So what's the difference between 1,000 random people and General G?
If General G was there in the queue in a blue ski mask, I wouldn't have known he's hanging out the back of me. But if you put him in front of me,
but you said,
of course I'm going to get rid of him. He would literally make my holes shrivel up. They would like.
So you wouldn't fuck just anyone.
Well, I would, but if you put General G and I know it's him, of course I'm going to avoid him.
Tell him.
I think I've already made that clear by saying if he walks on your stream, I'm going to leave.
You're going to leave? Why?
I said that to you, and you know that's why he's not on this trip right now.
Why would you leave, though?
I find him disgusting. I don't need to like everyone. I'm allowed an opinion on people.
So what? Oh, he's not answering. He's definitely. You've upset him now. He's watching this stream.
I don't care.
You've probably upset him. What's wrong with him?
I don't like him personally. There's nothing wrong.
Was there a need to say all of that disgusting things about him? Because you say he doesn't shower, yeah? You think he's disgusting. So in the same respect, do you think you're disgusting?
No.
So what's the difference between General G that showers 3 times a year and probably sleeps with like 0 people and just tugs off every night, to you who sleeps with probably 2,000 people a year, raw? How is General G disgusting and you're not disgusting? You're the female General G. I don't want to smell you now,
I'm the female General G. I think my BMI is in a healthy situation. I shower.
Yeah, your BMI is probably quite good because you're getting a lot of cardio in.
Exactly.
You are getting a lot of. I'll give you that.
Of course, like other people can like him. That's absolutely fine. For me personally, no, I will not fuck him, and I don't want anything to do with him. That's just my opinion.
Fair enough.
Everyone's like, you'd be allowed to say, you know what, I want nothing to do with Bonnie. I think she's disgusting. I think she's predator grim, whatever. That's fine. You're allowed an opinion, and everyone is. it's fine. I only defend the people I speak with because, and I understand people like you and other people go, oh, they're disgusting, they're vile. And then as soon as I say to you, how many of them have you interviewed? How many of them have you spoken to? You haven't. So everything's just opinion based. Just like, I don't know, it's a fact that General G, it's just that, you know, it smells. It's just
Mate,
my
you're
opinion.
absolutely waffling.
What, waffling that you've
you're
never
absolutely
spoken
waffling.
to anyone in my queue?
Why would I talk to one of the losers in your queue, mate?
That's what I mean,
The
you're just
losers in your
assuming.
queue are like absolute. Imagine going in a queue to Bonnie Blue. Imagine standing there like a cuck with all these other guys waiting
That's
to
just
get a
you
bit of pussy.
assuming.
Do you know what that is? That's a byproduct of people like you just ruining society. Because guys who should be doing what I do, going out and chatting to girls and pulling girls and being normal, handling rejection, handling emotions and whatever.
Though, if you don't want to.
No, that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be looking at. But guys are looking at, oh, it's all right. I don't need to learn how to have any social skills. I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to make money because I can still get naan bread by standing in a queue waiting for that. That's what you're putting out there.
They've literally just had 12
Why would I
hours of
talk to the
social skills.
losers? Why would I talk to the losers
You just want to sit
who
there
stand
and
in your
assume.
queue?
If
But
you
why
want
would I
proper
stand to
views, then if you went to that event and interviewed them people, I guarantee you'd have a spike in views.
Why would I go? No. I might have a spike in views. I might have a spike in views.
So you just
but
think,
I
why
would
would I?
bully
One,
them.
you're sitting there and
It would be a bully show.
Some
Because
of
I
them
would.
people would knock you out and put sense into
They
you.
would none of mate.
Oh,
all right,
what,
okay.
have you seen them?
All
Have you spoken to
all right,
them?
okay,
No.
okay. You might have a fucking UFC fighter in your queue who might beat me up, yeah. He's still standing there waiting to fuck you after hundreds of other people have
what, and
fucked
that's
you.
gay,
That
that's
doesn't mean
weird.
just because someone would beat me up doesn't mean I wouldn't bully them. I'd still bully them.
Yeah,
then we'd have a
we have
fight.
to say, hey, look, I'm actually not disgusting. Like I said, it's your opinion and that's fine.
So do you think
but
the
it's
guys
not
that queue up for
factual.
you are losers? Do you think the
No.
guys that queue up for you? No.
They're
No?
genuinely
So
nice
you date
people.
one of them?
Yeah.
You would,
The
yeah?
last
That would be
person
your
I dated was
husband?
in my queue.
No,
Yeah.
you're just tapped in the head then. You've lost
I'm
the
not
plot.
tapped.
You can't even say you're sane.
I am
No
sane.
one around you would even back that you're sane. Nobody.
Yes, they would.
No one in this world. What do your parents say about this?
They generally are proud.
No, they're
and they
not.
support- This one, it's generally boring.
They're not. They're
It's
not.
actually boring me.
They are
I'm sitting
not.
and having the same conversation. Oh, your
They're
parents don't
not.
support you. Oh, they're disgusting.
Mate, they can't look at you and think that that's normal. You've
They
lost the
are,
plot.
they do.
You dated a guy from your queue.
Yeah, he was really sweet.
Are your parents swingers?
No,
Have ever had a swinger background?
no.
They
Just
definitely have.
A very no.
They definitely have.
I'm generally getting bored.
They definitely
like,
have.
We're saying the same show on repeat.
Well,
yes, my
I've-
family support me. Yes, they love me. No, they don't find me disgusting. They adore me. I've got a good
You
relationship
dated
with them.
someone who was standing in your queue,
Yes,
and you think that that's normal.
they're normal, nice guys. Yes.
You're trying to normalize this.
It is normal. Like, I'm not saying sleeping with 1,000 people is normal. Hence the reason it causes such an uproar and so many people are disgusted by it.
How many people do you sleep with a week?
Some weeks none. Like, some weeks 5, some weeks 300. It really depends.
You've lost the plot,
The thing
Bonnie.
is, though, what you can't say, I'm very transparent. I don't hide anything. I say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I enjoy. I'm never saying, like, if someone else came to me and says, I'm happily married, I only ever want to sleep with one person for the rest of my life, that's also fine. I'm not saying people should do what I do. I just want people to be happy and do what they enjoy. If that's sleeping with 1,000 people, if that's, you know, being a swinger or just having a relationship with one person, then that's fine. I don't care. I just want people to be happy, and whatever that looks like for them, then so be it.
You can see how the conversation's obviously going, right? You know, they're having the same. It's always the same questions coming up in the interviews. Bonnie's starting to get frustrated with it because it's your parents don't love you, they must think you're disgusting, all the rest of it. She claims and doubles down on the fact that apparently they absolutely do adore her, and you know everything is cushy, right? But the next part of it is that Bonnie claims that women actually idolise her. Now, obviously that's a very subjective thing, right? You know, someone being idolised. I don't know if that's actually the case. By the way, for context, this is on a trip to Ibiza. So I think there was also claims, allegedly, I don't know how true these were. It was an out of context clip that I saw, so I'm not going to include it in the video because I don't know if it's true. Obviously, Gary Lineker's brother, Wayne Lineker, has a club out in Ibiza, and I think there might have been a conversation about them, you know, hooking up for OF content. I don't know how true that is. I know that Wayne Lineker's a bit of a dog. So, yeah. Anyway, idolising women.
You can't think
The
of it because there's
average
none.
person.
Name me one. Name me one. Name me
Just
one.
the
You can't
average
name me
person
one.
that goes to work.
You can't name me one. You can't name me one.
Literally, most people.
You cannot name me one though.
Yeah, but most women will just go to
What
work.
girl is worse to idolise than this? That is all. Like you are just showing the world of girls what not to be.
No,
And the thing is, you know what the thing is, yeah? I actually think you're probably a nice girl. Like, you probably are actually a nice person.
Yeah.
But you've just got caught up in all this clout shit.
I've not got
and
caught
being a
up.
hoe. And the same way I have to go out. The same way I have to go out and get
clips. Why did you invite me to
clips.
sit here?
For clout.
Yeah.
For clout. Exactly. Why are you
Girls
here?
do
For
stuff.
clout.
Yeah.
We're both here for clout. But I'm
I don't deny that. I'm not.
neither do I though, but I'm publicising the right thing right now. And that's me who's not a snowflake. What you're doing is actually damaging, and it's probably not even who you are.
Come on, who is it damaging?
Because you are pretty. You are pretty. No one's going to deny that. I'm not going to deny it. So when you say, oh, would I let her slop me off? The way you're talking now, behaving, bruv, if I was pissed and it was like, maybe a little slops, maybe, okay? I'll be honest, maybe there'd be a chance of slops, but...
I mean, it's obviously the way that he ends that is just gets me every time. But you know, he also goes on this like little rant of attempting to humble her, obviously through the whole slot me off conversation, and you know, not doing that. And you know, she claims that people do idolize her, put her on a pedestal. She's doing good stuff for society, and it kind of goes against the whole narrative, obviously, of what everyone else is saying. But the whole thing it swiftly comes to an end when Lily May walks on and goes to talk to him. Obviously, I don't know if that was a stream snipe thing. I don't know if this was pre-planned or whatever. But at that point, Bonnie Blue is out, right? And this is how it starts. This is the beginning of the end.
Oh, shit.
Didn't tell me you was going to be here.
Sorry. Forgot.
You're right, you having a nice day?
Not a date, just a little interview. Oh.
Where are you going?
Can I not get up? Oh, are you going to tell me I can't get up?
You can get up if you want.
Enjoy your time.
I'm enjoying it.
God.
Bonnie, why are you rattled?
I'm not right, I'm just getting
Sit
pissed
down,
off.
come on, sit down.
I'm just getting bored.
Take a chill pill, sit down,
How
girl.
much longer? I'm genuinely getting bored.
Sit down, girl.
It's the same conversations.
Sit down, girl.
Huh? Nah, I'm just getting
Come on,
bored.
Bonnie, sit down.
Huh? Well, just go. I'm just getting bored, but... Ready to go?
Do you know what? She can't take being impressed.
I can't take it. I'm just getting bored.
No, you just can't take being impressed. It's fine. You can't take. I'm honest.
I did an interview. But
No, but I didn't watch that interview. I didn't watch it.
Last night and it was an absolute shit show.
I didn't.
No one was there.
My party had 500 people there. You literally said how good it was. You turned up and said how good it was, and then text me saying that you wanted to come to the one on Wednesday, but you've got to fly somewhere else. Why are you lying? Why are you See, now you're lying on the camera. Why?
Shall we show the video?
Bonnie, why are you lying?
Everyone's saying.
Bonnie, you took your mic off, you dumb blonde. Put the mic on. Put the mic on, you dumb blonde. See you later, you little tart.
And at that point, obviously, it just kind of all goes downhill, right? Obviously, HS Tiki Toki's completely lost it. He resorts to calling her names. Like I said before, at that point, you know, you've kind of lost the whole thing. Bonnie Blue then obviously leaves, doesn't pay the bill, leaves it to HS Tiki Toki, in which he was just like, nah, you're not paying for it, I'm not paying for it.
Two waters, but the girl who was there, Bonnie Blue, she ordered that bread and that Diet Coke and didn't pay for it, so I'm not involved with that bread. It's not my bill.
It was your friend.
No, it's not my friend. I don't know her. She come and sat here to film some videos. I don't know who she is. It's her bread and her sparkling water and her Coke. Can I pay?
Just, I don't know, it's just crazy. But then he talks about how she got upset afterwards, obviously, and apparently she went off. She was very upset about it, started crying.
Crying? Swear. Wait, is she crying? Is she on stream? She genuinely got a face only a paid actor could love. Yeah, she ain't fit. She's fucking butters. She looks 50, mate. She looks absolutely ran through and fucking retired.
I mean, he spent the whole time gassing her up as well, though. Like, there are a couple of things where I'm like, the fuck is this guy, like, talking about? Like, there are parts of it that I agree with, and that's like why I stated it at the start of the video. And then there's a couple of things where I'm like, the fuck are you on about? Like, you literally were gassing her up the whole interview about how pretty she is, and now suddenly she's aired you, she's walked off, you've upset her, and now suddenly she's butters, she's a scat, she's ugly, you know, she looks 50, she looks like a retired, like she's been run through. I don't know, it's weird, do you know what I mean? To be fair, I don't like either of the people that are on it, but this is him also kind of talking about how she got upset afterwards.
Perfectly, and I'm the only person who spoke to her that's been able to get the proper point across. Simple as that. Simple as that. She could not take the source. She could not take the articulation of facts that were coming out of my voice. That's the first roast that she couldn't take. I didn't cook her. Why'd she leave then? Why was she crying, bruv? She was literally crying because she got cooked.
I mean, I don't know, it's weird that a guy who is actually on the run from the police in the UK is taking the moral high ground. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, I don't know, man. There were, like I say, there were things that I agree with and she got pressed on. But then, like, I don't know, I also just think that, like, he's just as much a scumbag. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just, like, he is no one to be taking the high ground. But, you know, he did speak facts in a lot of what he said. And that seems to be the internet's sentiment as well. Like this video here, which kind of talks about how, you know, people just never thought that they would actually agree with HS TikTok.
Yes, TikTok went in on Bonnie Blue, and he told her things that we were all thinking, watch this.
Never, because I am wet and I enjoy it. But instead you're just going to sit there and go, nah mate, that's
You're
disgusting.
wet thinking of the dollar signs, and you are absolutely ruining society with your actions.
Really?
And it's actually sad. And
Now, I'm not a fan of HS. I don't like his arrogance, and I don't like his persona. But in this interview, the way that he handles Bonnie Blue, and he absolutely just tells it straight to the point, exactly how it is bang on. I couldn't have done it better myself. I also don't have a problem with women that want to make money from their own body. That's perfectly fine. But then publicising sleeping with 1,000 men in a day is just disgusting. And making it become like a thing that other women want to do is also really disgusting.
I know you're going to look back and regret it.
This is what everyone
There are
says.
other things.
You can see, you get the idea, right? So people kind of seem to be Team HS TikTok on this one. I don't know. It's just funny that this is what's happened, and you know, she got pressed by him. She left, wasn't happy with how it was going, perceivingly from the outside looking in. She claimed she was bored. Could be the case. I mean, every interview with Bonnie Blue is literally the same. The Andrew Tate one was the same. HS TikTok was the same. Everyone asked the same questions. And they just instantly go for, like, the slut shaming. And I just think that, you know, if you're going to do it that way, you're not going to get anything. We've then got Jack Doherty once again dominating headlines because he crashed yet another vehicle. This guy literally needs to be stripped of all of his licenses for anything motorised. Even if it's an electric toothbrush, I would not trust this man to drive it. Jack Doherty is so unbelievably desperate for clout and money that he will do anything and everything, claim absolutely anything and everything, regardless of whether it's real or fake, and just, you know, try and make something of it, right? We've seen it multiple times, right? So obviously in the past like year or so, he got banned from Kick, he got banned from TikTok, he got banned from Twitch, he got banned from, I think he's banned from YouTube as well, live streaming. He's also now just gone over to Party, but we've seen a multitude of crashes. He crashed a boat, he crashed a McLaren, he crashed 2 dirt bikes, one of which he allegedly broke his collarbone in. He crashed, I think there's something else that he crashed, but I can't think off the top of my head, right? And now apparently he's crashed once again, as there have been videos that have been released by Drama Alert, Jack Doherty himself, and also kind of full live stream clips. And, you know, he's also just so desperate for money because all of his income wells have dried up to the point where he's now just an online pimp. All he does is pimp out OF girls. And apparently he's also been cited down strips of, like, LA and stuff like this where, you know, it's become quite notorious that OF girls hang out so that he can recruit, essentially, right? With the business model that he takes them under his wing, gives them this promise of a luxurious lifestyle, and then, like, rakes in at least 50% of their profits from OF. He is literally the present-day pimp. What a dick. Anyway, the videos that are going viral right now are of Jack Doherty allegedly crashing a BMW car. But this is like, let's just watch the video and then we'll talk about the situation.
All right, guys, I just crashed another car. I think it's officially time I get off the road, but hey, we got more at home. Let's go.
Lambo, bro.
Just nonchalantly, yeah, I just crashed another car. I think it's time to get off the road. And then all of his, like, yes men around him go, oh, Jack, you're so funny. You know, like, and then there's this full clip here which allegedly seems to show Jack crashing his car and shit. I don't know.
Sorry. We should do vertical. God damn. Oh my god, bro. Are you good?
Yeah, shit's good.
You good, bro?
2 car accidents 1 year.
Literally, bro, we can't escape it. Oh my god, look at that. No. Here, wait, Grace. Just hold it.
Just try not to touch them so they can do whatever they want.
At least you're okay.
Yeah, I know.
You good, bro?
Are you okay? Are you swimming up?
Did you get banged up or anything?
It was the other person's fault, right?
Yeah, but it's like, fuck. It was like yellow, I was turning, and like, I don't know if it turned red for her yet or whatever, but she just went through. The other car next to her stopped, like, I was turning them.
Be respectful of her. She's so shaken up.
I
Just like,
wouldn't-
don't
I-
get
I-
her on
I told her
camera
she's
and
fine.
stuff.
I know.
She's like so
Yeah.
scared. So just to be nice, please. Like, just don't get her on
Yeah.
camera.
No, I know.
Okay.
I told her she's good.
I'm still confused which way you were going. You were coming.
I was turning left. I know. I feel bad. I told her it's fine. It's just a car. I told her.
Wait, and she hit you?
Go on the sidewalk.
People really suck at
So there's kind of the full context of it, right? So Jack claims within the videos that are going kind of viral that he's shared on his own Twitter platform and is getting shared by Drama Alert and stuff, that he crashed the car, all right, and it's time for him to get off the road. But actually, it was his cameraman that had the car accident. He claims it wasn't his fault. Apparently, it was the other person's fault. And he basically starts the stream, runs over to the crash just so he can get a viral moment. What a dick. Like, your cameraman has just had a crash, but this shouldn't come as any surprise, because if you remember when he crashed his McLaren, right, the first thing that he said to his cameraman, who was bleeding from his head, right, after being in quite a severe car crash, was like, make sure to get this on camera, make sure you get these good angles. Bro, what the fuck? Like, imagine being that much of a narcissist that you don't care about the, you know, the well-being of your friend, your cameraman, your employee, or whatever, and you're just like, this will make for a great viral clip, let me claim that it was me who crashed the car. Completely insensitive to the person who's clearly, like, we heard the police officer come over and say how she's in absolute distraught, so please be nice to her, you know, don't put her on camera and stuff. What a dick. But Jack has, like I said, shared this over on his own Twitter page, right? So, you know, over on his Twitter page, he shared the video, I crashed my car again, he reposted it, I crashed my car again. And then underneath, he put full video here, and it's just links to his, like, other social media sites, right? So this is, I think this is his website, yeah, jackdoherty.com, right? You can see from the URL up in the top corner. And there is literally nothing here with regards to the clip at all. So he's just doing it to farm engagement, to try and farm anything that he can, because the guy is so desperate to get any kind of virality, to get any taste of notoriety, to get any kind of taste of, you know, what's the word, relevance. He's just seeking relevance, and he will do it to no end. What an absolute scumbag. So yeah, if you see videos going viral of Jack saying, "Oh, I crashed the car again, I should get off the road," no, it's not Jack at all. It's his cameraman who's crashed the car. Jack's trying to take that moment insensitively to try and make himself, the centre of attention because, classic narcissist. And yeah, he's just, I don't know, man. I can't stand Jack Doherty, man. I cannot stand the little weasel. Like, look at his face, man. Look at his face. Oh, man, such a little weasel. But he does shit like this and it gets under my skin, and then I see people sharing it and I'm like, no, this is not the truth. Like, Drama Alert will never clear up the fact that this is actually the case and that it was his cameraman that actually crashed the car and Jack was just trying to get a viral moment because, of course, they just want the clips and the views, of course. So why would they go against it? Yeah, it's a fucking weird situation. To be fair, he shouldn't be on the road anyway with the amount of vehicles that he's actually crashed. Boats, cars, dirt bikes. What else is there? I feel like there's something else that I'm missing. I mean, he crashed his relationship as well, so let's not forget about that one with McKinley. That was quite infamous, but yeah, little weasel. Obviously never injured either. Like, somehow he always gets away scot-free. He just never is injured. Everyone else always is. It's just typical. Like, the problem is the internet made him a millionaire at the age of like 14 or 15, a multi-millionaire. So he's never had accountability in his life. He's just been able to throw money at a problem until that problem goes away. And now the well of money is starting to kind of like, or his options to kind of put money in the well is drying up. So he's just seeking anything he can at any means possible. Absolute scumbag. Lily Tino also is getting really pressed, and you may remember, obviously, like earlier in the video, we spoke about how, they're getting investigated right now. Well, it seems like that pressure may have finally reached a bit of a head, as they have taken a break from social media. Transgender TikToker and activist Lily Tino is reportedly stepping away from social media after intense backlash off the back of her going into bathrooms at Disneyland in Florida, recording whilst in the bathrooms, and basically doing rating the bathrooms essentially, right? And it's caused such a stir that she is being investigated by the federal police because essentially she's broken the law. So to kind of give you a little bit of context, Tino is actually being investigated by the Florida Attorney General for allegedly violating Florida's statute 810.145, which prohibits unauthorized video recordings in private spaces like restrooms, for example, which is exactly where she did. And the investigation was triggered by Tino's TikTok videos posted between May 26th and June 2nd, showing selfies and content being filmed in women's restrooms at Walt Disney World, where other women and children were actually visible within the content and in the background without their prior consent. And obviously these videos raised serious privacy concerns and led to accusations of illegal recording. And if convicted, Tino could actually face up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Now, this probe currently is state level, so that means that, the state is currently investigating it. Off the back of that, Tino has basically, laughed at it throughout their TikTok videos. I made a video about this a couple of days ago, going over the most recent videos that they've made and how it's they're not taking it particularly seriously. So go and check that video out if you haven't already to kind of get yourself up to speed. And then this one's kind of a continuation, right? But the likelihood of Lily Tino at this current time being charged under Florida's statutes for unauthorized recordings, it completely depends on several factors. But based on the available information, there is a strong possibility of charges actually being filed. Though, of course, I'm not a legal person, and that is not guaranteed whatsoever. But the legal grounds for the charges, so the statute actually prohibits unauthorized video recordings in private spaces like restrooms, for example, where individuals have reasonable expectation for privacy. Violations face up to 5 years in prison, of course, and a $5,000 fine for the felony offence. Tino's videos were posted between May 26th and June 2nd of 2025, which included images of women and minors in the background without their prior consent, which directly aligns with the statute's prohibitions. And then Florida's Attorney General, James Utterheimer, has publicly confirmed the active investigation, emphasizing a zero-tolerance stance on such privacy violations, particularly in women's restrooms. So, you know, this does kind of show strong leaning towards potential prosecution. Now, of course, there's a lot of complications to this, and there's a lot of things that can go back and forth, but the scrutiny online towards Lily Tino has been immense. Now, Lily Tino is not new to controversy. Obviously, they've made videos in the past where in Disney where you can see children running around and they're talking about gender reassignment surgery. They made videos dressed up like Miss Rachel, who is a very popular children and toddler YouTuber who like works on phonics skills and stuff like this. Lily Tino dressed up like her and tried to explain gender reassignment and what a transgender person was, and then labeled it as education purposes. They've, you know, tried to state that they are trying to push forwards this narrative of gender reassignment and transgender rights and stuff like this, and, you know, everyone's kind of for the fight, but the way that Lily Tino's going about it is absolutely not kind of, people aren't sitting right with it. But 14 hours ago at the time of recording, Lily Tino dropped a video basically stating that they will be stepping away from social media after Florida's Attorney General launched an investigation for recording women in a Disney World bathroom. So this is the video that Lily uploaded to kind of explain the situation.
So the whole point of why I do what I do, which is create content, is to educate and to entertain, in that order. And I think that recently my content has taken a bit of a shift, to be more, well, I'm hurt. I am deeply hurt because of the amount of hate that I've gotten over the past 3 years doing this, 2.5 years. And that hurt has influenced the way that I do things. As a content creator, especially as a streamer, I'm always on camera, talking all the time, daily updates about where I'm at. And I think that the hurt that I feel has influenced the way that I've pushed in my content to be confrontational and be in your face about what I'm trying to do, which is ultimately teach people about trans things, and hopefully make for a more accepting world. But I don't want the hurt to be a part of it anymore. That shift is not fun for me at all. It's actually really awful, and it doesn't just impact me, but my family and my friends, and you know, I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm always going to be a confrontational person, but I think there's ways to do it that are not channeling the anger I feel at the world for hurting me. So to that end, I'm going to take a break. I don't know when I'll be back. I'll be back, but I don't know when. I need to take some time. I'm not going to change myself for anybody. That's never going to happen. But I am going to work on the way that my hurt has taken over my content in some ways. So
Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you somewhere down the road.
Now, obviously, the way that that video is portrayed is that everyone else is at fault, right? And, you know, it's a typical... I wouldn't even call that an apology because there was no apology. It was just, I'm stepping away. But, you know, it's one of them typical responses from content creators these days where it's like, the viewers are the problem, not me. You don't like what I did, so therefore I'm going to step away and make you feel bad about it. It's just typical, you know, social media behaviour these days. We see it all the bloody time. And ultimately there's no accountability for the actions that have been taken, which is that Lily Tino has violated a law, and she's being investigated for it. Therefore, she is at fault and being held accountable. But that's never going to be the case because, of course, you know, why would they be held accountable? Do you know what I mean? Now, to me, this also, and this is just speculation, you know, just from me looking at it, this absolutely screams that lawyers have got involved because they are being investigated and have been like, you need to stop posting because what you're posting is absolutely adding fuel to the fire. If you look at the most recent videos that Lily Tino has posted over on their TikTok account, okay, it's basically like putting the middle finger up to the people that are investigating. You know, talking about those bathroom selfies and all the rest of it. These were the videos and photos that got them in a lot of trouble. Okay, 9.6 million views, 6.1 million views, 7.5 million views, 4.2 million views, 10.7 million views, 16 million views. You know, they are raking 19 million views. They are raking in the cash by talking about this and keeping this as relevant as possible. All right, and now they basically fucked around and found out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Yeah, looks like Lily Tino has not quit, but is walking away for a period of time. And Jack Doherty, off the back of his crash, had CPS, or Child Protective Services, called on him, which has meant that he is actually getting investigated by the police and CPS for, well, child endangerment. Let's just put it that way. You may remember a couple of days ago, we spoke about Jack Doherty, the absolute weasel of the internet, who had another car crash allegedly, and was, well, just involved in another car crash. He spread this across his social media like wildfire. Of course, this is one of many crashes that he's had over the past, like, year or so. He's crashed dirt bikes, he's crashed buggies, he's crashed boats, he's crashed his McLaren, and now apparently he crashed a BMW. And he's spread this across the internet, trying to garner as much media attention as possible. This was the video that has been going viral recently.
All right, guys, I just crashed another car. I think it's officially time I get off the road, but hey, we got more at home. Let's go.
Lambo, bro.
Yeah.
Now, to add a bit of context to this video, it wasn't even Jack that crashed the car. He's just stood in front of the car, posing for clips to try and go viral. It's worked. But actually, this was his cameraman's car, and his cameraman was the one involved in the accident, and his cameraman wasn't even at fault for the accident, allegedly. According to the cameraman and according to the police, it was actually down to the other driver who crashed into them. Now, Jack has been, like, going around the internet talking about this. Oh, I'm going viral for crashing my car again. It's time to get off the road. This is going to clip farm and all the rest of it. But something off the back of this may have actually happened, which is way more severe than any kind of car crash, as Child Protective Services, otherwise known as CPS over in America, actually visited Jack Doherty after the car crash, after his stream on July 2nd, to investigate anonymous allegations of child abuse. I kid you not. So according to multiple sources, including the Times of India, Primetimer and Deserto, CPS and law enforcement actually approached Doherty at his residence following an anonymous tip. Doherty has, of course, denied the allegations, claiming that they were from a form of harassment similar to swatting, and stated that he does not have children. The CPS agent reportedly spoke with him privately to address the claims, but no further details have actually come forwards. So Jack also, you know, typical Jack Doherty behaviour, farmed this and put it on his social media. It started the video out by going, "Oh guys, I just got home from the car crash. And now I've been told by my security that I've got police stood outside waiting to talk to me in CPS. And this is how the video kind of played out. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I just can't stand that much Jack Doherty, but it's just to give you the idea.
So weird.
It's actually so random. CPS.
Wait, let's get the phone too in case. It's clear. Alright guys, the cops are at my house and I have no idea why, so I guess we're gonna figure it out. Like, yeah, I just think.
The cops are at my house, apparently it's CPS, so let me just do what I do best. Guys, get the cameras rolling.
What's happening, man?
I don't know what's happening.
Alright. Talk to her, yeah.
What's this about?
So my name's Annika with the Department of Children and Families. I'm here on
With Department of what?
Children and Families on here of child abuse allegations.
What child?
That's exactly what I'm trying to just squash them allegations.
Wait, so what allegations?
Child abuse.
Like I'm abusing my child?
Listen, it's just
You caught me, no.
Dude, let him
I'll get myself in. No, I'm kidding. They are children if you think about it. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not.
Sorry.
these allegations are kind of serious, and I do have to do a one-on-one interview.
But like I don't have a kid, so.
I know, that's why I just gotta address this with you so we can just close out this case.
And the only reason we're here, anytime they go somewhere, law enforcement goes to keep them safe. That's all it is, man. You can ignore
It's all
us.
confidential.
We're not here for you.
Yeah.
Imagine having Child Protective Services at your front door telling you that you're under serious investigation and they're there because, they've had anonymous reports of child abuse. Rightfully so, right? Like, if you have put in a report, whether it's false or not, like, CPS have to get involved. They have to investigate it for the sake of the alleged child. But then imagine turning around and being like, oh, these OnlyFans girls are children. Just kidding. Like, what is he trying to achieve there? It wasn't even funny. What an actual moron.
That's
anyone in the state of Florida can report anyone in the state. Yeah. Anyone at all. Because
call.
Well, let them know and whatever you gotta ask him and all that.
Because it's confidential and no one else is on the report except for him. So.
You want to go talk to her?
Yeah. But like, what's this about? I'm so confused.
She'll explain everything to you. She just can't explain it with
confidential.
Other people not involved.
Basically, that's the only thing. You're a baby daddy? You have a kid? You didn't have a mom.
Yeah, ladies. Why in front of the hubs, for real? In front of all the ladies? My bedroom. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
What the fuck? Imagine saying that to Child Protective Services, man. Like, what an actual moron. I cannot fathom the sheer stupidity of this actual idiot.
I'm joking.
Go ahead, we'll do right. You're going.
Alright, yeah, let's go.
Who's the mom, Chrissy or Grace?
Jack. Jack, swap. Swap?
Yeah. Actually.
No? Alright, I won't.
Who does this? Like, actually, who does this? Might be a mom now. Yeah, you're gonna be a mom. Grace the mom. Jack has a
What do you mean? Oh, someone else is abusing a child?
That's so weird.
No, it doesn't mean it's happening. It's just an allegation.
What? I also think...
So, yeah, obviously, he claims, Jack does at least, that this is just no different to, getting swatted and stuff like that. He then comes over like he's some kind of champion, because he's had Child Protective Services called on him and stuff like this, right? Like, oh, man. And he still, like, cracks jokes. Like, he thinks he's some kind of, like, funny guy who, if he cracks jokes to CPS officers, he's like, the toughest nut on the block. No, you're an actual idiot.
Yeah.
Alright, Jack, how many fucking kids do you have?
6, 7.
How many secret kids do you have that you didn't tell us about? How many?
The baby mama's bad as fuck, though.
How many baby mamas you got?
It was a cop from earlier. It was a cop. It's
It was a
milkmaid.
cop
It's
from earlier.
milkmaid. It's milkmaid.
Excuse me, if I show you a picture of a cop, can you get me your number or no?
Hell no, dude.
What do we have number?
We do have her name.
Close
Yeah.
here, or where was that?
Right
Yeah,
over there.
literally like 5 minutes away.
She was really hot. I'm not gonna lie. Why is she a cop? Why isn't some rich man in Miami come take her to?
I'm pretty sure I know who
Island
you're
or
talking
something?
about. But
Yeah, you do. Who's got to be the one? I might be a cop now too if that's what's in there, huh?
That's funny.
I'll take her out.
I know what you're talking about. That's funny.
They got me though, guys. They got me. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you.
Are we good?
I hate it. Like, I just hate it when Jack talks. I just hate it. He just says something so unfunny and then just goes, I'm kidding. Like as if it was like funny in the first place. So yeah, now he's being investigated by child investigative services, child protective services, and yeah. So obviously Jack refers to this as no different to being swatted. This is just the new version of swatting, according to him. But yeah, according to him, this is a lot more serious because apparently someone called the effing Child Protective Services, in his own words, and reported me. I can't believe people can just do that. This is a new form of swatting. Now, obviously, it's unclear whether this is actually true or not because Jack doesn't actually have children of his own, but obviously you don't need to have children of your own to have CPS called on you. Like, if you are involved with a minor of some capacity, right, and you abuse that minor, then obviously these protective services get involved. Jack is just hitting all new levels of low. I mean, at what point is it just... I don't know. I feel like I say this every video. At what point does Jack get to that, like, rock bottom? But every time I think he's there, he just gets lower and lower and lower and lower. It's almost time to put the fries in the bag. What do you guys think about all of this news? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It's just another day, another week in social media, just more absolutely insane stuff. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to the hell out of that like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.